everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today's a special edition of my June TBR. If you've watched my past couple years of for TBRs where I do the Amazing Readathon and Camp Nightmare, Lake Thrills and Chills, then you probably know who I'm about to introduce. If you don't, well, she will be linked down below. You should go check out her channel. She's awesome, and she's my IRL bestie. And I'm so excited to bring in my bestie, Dana.
Hey!
And she chooses all of my books. She has total power.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what she's picked, except for one. Only because she needed my, guidance of what I'm interested in reading a little bit for that one particular prompt. However, before we get to those books, I'm just going to talk about the Fiction Falls book for June, which is Heaven's Official Blessing. Heaven Official's Blessing, technically. This is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, but this is a manhwa that I had no idea about until I randomly found this in Barnes & Noble. And this edition is absolutely stunning. And it's also perfect for Pride Month because it's a male-male relationship. And it's about gods, and there's paranormal stuff, and I'm excited. So this will also be put in the TBR because I have to read it for our live show. And even if it's not picked by Dana, it's still going to be on the TBR anyways, because I also have this listed for a prompt for the Amazing Readathon. So we will get to those prompts after Dana picks everything. So, take it away, Dana.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you to Amanda for allowing me to come back and take over her June TBR. I told her, I was like, she's got a lot of faith, trust, and pixie dust in me that I'm going to pick a good TBR. I will say, she kindly pulled out some books and sent me a picture of them, of ones that she's really interested in. So I pulled from there, and then I also just added ones that I wanted to add. So
I'm excited to see what those are.
And she has no idea, like she said, except for like the one that I had to like ask a little bit about. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I tried to use GoodReads and really see like, okay, has she read certain things? So fingers crossed, this goes well. Close your eyes.
All right, eyes are closed.
Okay, the first prompt on the Camp Nightmare bingo board is tie-dye, and that is to read a book with your favorite color. And Amanda's favorite color is pink. And for that, I chose Someone in the Attic by Andrea Mara. I am really interested in reading this as well, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. But, it's got pink, and it's like a stunning little shade of pink, too.
Want to know something really funny, too? I intentionally pulled this book for this prompt just in case she picks it.
I love that. That worked out perfect. Okay. All right. So the second prompt is friendship bracelets, and that is to read a book that has a friend group in it. And I will say also that the bingo board for Camp Nightmare, I designed it for thrillers, but you don't have to read thrillers for like all the prompts. There's honestly only a couple that are kind of like very specific, but because Amanda gave me control, I'm picking thrillers. Okay. So Friendship Bracelets, a book with a friendship group. And I'm going to go with Tell Me What Really Happened by Chelsea Sidoti. I'm sure I didn't say that right. Like I'm positive I didn't say that right. But I looked this up on GoodReads, and it's told in like first person police interviews, and it's from a group of friends who like one of their friends goes missing or she's taken out. But it's a group of friends in their police interviews trying to figure out what happened.
This is exciting because another funny thing, I also pulled this in case for this prompt just in case you picked this.
Sounds good. Well,
it's like we have the same mind.
They're linked right there. So yeah, I'm actually really interested to hear again what you think of this because it has this little Midnight Reads tag, and we've had some really good luck with the books with that tag. Those Megan Lally books have really been winners for us. So
yeah, I'm excited for the new Megan Lally next year.
Same. But I've been really excited every time I see like a little Midnight Reads on a book because I'm like, what if you just have it like Megan Lally's books? So there you go. That is book number 2. Okay, prompt 3 is emergency contact, and that is to read a book by an author you've read from before.
Mm-hmm.
And my dear friend Amanda here really does love some Frida McFadden, and you pulled out quite a few. So
I pulled out all of them.
She pulled out all of them.
Just all the physical copies that I have.
So I was trying to get quite a few on there, because I want you to enjoy like what you're reading. I don't want to like be mean and just like throw a bunch of things on there that you are not interested in. So for emergency contact, I picked up One by One by Frida McFadden.
Yeah.
I have no clue what this is about, except I know that you really wanted to read it.
I want to read all her backlist.
Yeah. Stunning. Stunning.
I also have a couple of hers on my Kindle.
Okay, perfect.
I think I have The Wife Upstairs and The Gift.
Okay.
The short.
Yeah. One. That one's like a Christmas inspired.
Oh, really?
Reimagining. Yeah.
Okay,
The Gift of Magi. Yep.
I'll definitely, we'll have to, I also recently just read Death Row.
Okay.
The beginning of this month.
Okay. Did you like that one?
I did, actually.
Stunning.
Well, actually, I forgot. Hold on. I gave it 2 stars. So not quite an enjoyable read.
She's like,
it started out promising. Okay. And then it just went downhill from there, in my opinion.
Well, yikes.
But overall, I enjoy her books. They're usually like a 4-star or higher for me. There's only 2 books I ever gave 2 stars to, which is Death Row and The Housemaid is Watching. Yeah. But everything else has been 4-star or higher. So
yeah. The good thing is like her books are so fast paced.
Yeah.
And she's got an extensive backlist. So like even if you hit one that you don't enjoy, chances are you'll find another one that you do.
Right.
You know? Okay. So for Pajama Party, that's to read a cozy mystery. And Amanda is convinced that she does not enjoy those. But I am going to make it my personal mission to find one that she does. Now, she had some sprints the other day, and our friend Christina had suggested one, and Amanda was really interested in it. So, Christina, you are the one.
To you, girl.
Yeah, I was going to say, you actually picked the book for this one because I wanted Amanda to read one that she was actually interested in, you know, instead of me forcing a different one on her. So this one is called The Secret Book and Scone Society. I have no clue.
The picture will be up here somewhere.
There you go. Okay, now for Relay Race. This is to read a book with a dual timeline. And I chose
Eyes Closed.
The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley.
Oh, yay.
I have not read this. You'll see a theme that a lot of them I have not read. Because I was going by what you had pulled, you know.
Right.
But the ones that I chose that you didn't pull, I think I've read all of those. But I am interested in to hear what you think about this because I know, you know, Lucy Foley's a relatively popular author with the thrillers she puts out. This one has something about a secret from 15 years ago. So I feel like it was safe to say that this will have a dual timeline at some point. It'll flash back to the past.
And I heard there's also Then There Were None trope. And usually those types of tropes I like.
You like, yeah.
And I
also like that trope.
Yeah. And I've never read this author before, so this will be my first book from her, and I'm really excited for it.
Stunning.
I saw Target had the paperback with green sprayed edges, and the paperback itself felt very velvety.
Ooh. Okay.
So, like, if I really like this, then I'll probably have to switch it out for that.
Okay. Stunning. Yeah, for sure. Okay. The next one I'm really, really excited about because I recently read this one and I really liked it.
I think I know which one it is now.
Stop it. You think it is?
Daisy Darker?
Stop it right now because it is Daisy Darker. So this one is for a remote. This one is for a remote location. This is to read a book with an isolation or destination setting. And I did recently read this, and I know that, like, you heard me and Clint and Karina talking about it. And I gave this like a very strong 4. It might have been a 4.5. I'll have to double check. But there's a certain trope or thing in this book that I think was done so well that, like, you know, sometimes you read certain things you don't like how it's done in other books, but I really enjoyed the way it happened in here, but I don't want to say what it is.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah. But I'm ecstatic for you, like so excited for you to read this because I need to hear your thoughts because Clint
He gave it 6 stars.
Clint loved it, okay?
And he and I really jive on books a lot. So I'm hoping that I'll feel the same, which is part of why I pulled this one.
Stunning, yeah. Because Karina was the one, I think, that told me to read this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check and see what her rating was. Because I think she gave it a pretty high rating as well.
Did she? Well, that's good to hear.
So. Okay, yes. I did pick this up because of Karina. She gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. Clint gave it 6 stars. So I feel like we have good odds that you're going to like this one. So, and this also has the, like, and then there were none trope. So if you enjoy it, I enjoyed that one too. Clint does as well. So I think this one's as safe to say to win. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, I did read one other book from her. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I did give that one 4 stars. So I'm interested to see
this is even better. This one's better.
Oh,
in
really?
My opinion. Yeah. So very excited.
I'm excited.
To read that one. Yay. Okay.
Me too.
The fact that you guessed that is actually insanity.
Because I remember you guys talking about it, so I had to pull it just for this, just in case.
Okay, stunning. Next up is Cabin Buddies, and this is to read a buddy read. Funny enough, I don't know if you planned on buddy reading this with anybody, but I chose this because I plan on reading it, and so now I'm forcing you into a buddy read with me.
I totally don't mind because I love buddy reads.
Stunning. Okay, close those peepers. Okay. I'm gonna pull it. Okay, you can open them. She Left by Stacey Gray.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I really genuinely love this cover. Like the colors of it, the greens and like different blues and stuff. I'm a fan. Clint read this. Loved it. And he's the reason I even heard about it.
He's the reason why I bought it too.
Well, Clint, there you go, forcing us to read things. But I have it on my TBR. So I was like, I saw you had it in your stack and I said, oh, perfect. I'm going to force you to read it with me.
And Clint said, I think he said this is also Then There Were None trope.
Ooh, stunning. Oh, Deliciously Twisty, Agatha Christie would be spellbound, is what I'm assuming it says at the end because the sticker is in front of it. So, yeah, okay. Stunning.
So we have a lot of Then There Were None tropes in this TBR so far. I'm loving it.
Good thing you like that.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next up is year 2. And that is to celebrate the 2nd year of Camp Nightmare. And so
I love.
Yeah. So this one can be done like multiple ways, like different versions of the word two. Like I talked about it in my announcement video, but you can basically almost do anything you want to come up with a book for this trope. It was just more of like a fun one just to celebrate. So the one that I picked is
Closing My Eyes.
Let me find it. Okay. All right. The one that I picked is Want to Know a Secret by Frida McFadden.
Oh, yeah.
It has the word two. Again, you can use like the different versions of two. It doesn't have to be like the numeric version. But this one I picked, honestly, I don't know anything about it. But again, it was Frida. And I know that there's obviously going to be so many thrillers on this list that I feel like having ones that are almost like for sure wins or like safe wins are good to put in there just so that you can kind of get a little balance of the ones that maybe you're a little unsure of by having ones that you're like really, really, really excited to pick up.
I am excited. I wanted to read more of her backlist. So.
Oh, stop it. I literally don't know anything about it, but I just looked at the back and it says YouTube Baking Sensation. How fun that it has like YouTube in there.
Right?
It's stunning. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. The next one is Ghost Stories. And this is for a paranormal. And that can be like all the way to like the very spooky, creepy, want to sleep with your lights on, all the way to like a paranormal cozy that, you know, is just kind of funsies. So feel free for anybody to choose anywhere within that range.
And I did pull a few with this trope. So I'm excited to see what you pull.
I'm actually going to pull two for this and let you pick which one. Okay. Just because, like, one is... I'm going to grab them. Maybe I should let Ray pick.
Ooh. Should we?
Yes.
It'll be a completely blind pick.
Yeah.
It'll be blind and everything. That could be kind of fun.
Stunning.
Hey, Ray. You get to be a part of the video. Hop on over.
Ray just did the picking, okay? This was one option. And then this was the other option, okay? And I think this is the one she wants. And this is the one Ray picked. And this is also the one that I was leaning towards. So at least me and Ray are in agreement. And I think you will be too. So for paranormal, you can go ahead and open your eyes. We have Fairy Tale by Stephen King. So this is the paranormal read for Amanda. This is the one me and Ray agreed upon, okay? And I will say, me and Ray have a really good track record, I think, with putting our minds together and picking books for you. So,
because we did a blind date with a book on my channel where they both went to Barnes & Noble and they picked books completely blind for me. Dana wrapped them, and I did like a whole vlog unwrapping and like reading the books, which was so much fun. And I'm thinking we should do something like that again for my birthday.
Ooh.
So my birthday falls on a Wednesday.
Okay, yeah. Me and Ray had a good time. We were just like, we were just sitting there in the cafe, and me and Ray were just diddy-bopping through the Barnes & Noble.
I wanted to keep track of them, but Ray's like, don't you do it.
Yeah, we're...
But it was fun, so we might end up having to bring that back.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm very excited to read Fairy Tale because I've been putting this off for years and years. It's been on my shelf for like years.
Okay.
Literally. So I'm so glad I'm finally getting to it. And I'm reading this with a bunch of girls that I was on the team for Escape the Readathon. So but some of the girls from the team said that they were going to be reading it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll join you on that. So a bunch of us will be reading this book together. And I'm very excited to finally get to it.
Okay. So for show and tell, I had a book option and a documentary option. Amanda said she would like to watch the documentary so that she doesn't have to add another book, which, you know, totally understandable because you also have another readathon that you're doing in June. So I'm going to tell you what the book would have been if you chose book, and then I'll tell you the documentary.
Okay.
So the book would have been The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Because this
has a documentary in it.
Yeah. So I've never read it, but I know a lot of people really do enjoy her writing, and she typically writes with like a paranormal element, and I know that you enjoy paranormal.
I do.
But it has like a true crime, like she's a true crime blogger. So
I do still want to read this book. So if I don't get to it in June, maybe I'll try and save it for like when you do your next readathon in the fall.
Okay. This would probably be really perfect for that with the spooky vibes. Okay. Well, this was not chosen for the documentary. It's on Netflix, you know, so if anybody out there has Netflix and wants to watch along, it is 3 parts. Like it's 3 episodes. So it's not anything like too wild. It's called American Nightmare. And
interesting.
Yeah.
You said it's for show and tell, right?
Yes. American Nightmare, and me and my family watched it together, and we were freaking out because it was just so crazy. And actually, Nikki, I think and Nikki's the one that told me about it. She was like, "Oh my God, you have to watch this." And then I made like my sister-in-law and my niece to watch it with me, and we were floored. Like it was just like, how is this real life? But yeah. So I can't wait to hear what you think about that, and I'm sure you'll make Ray also enjoy.
He loves watching this kind of stuff, so
stunning.
It's stunning. It's no chore for him to watch.
Yeah, no, so I was like,
I mean, he listens to Crime Junkies too, so
the best true crime podcast. Okay, so next up we have Day at the Lake. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We have Day on the Lake next, and that's to read a book with water on the cover. For this one, I don't believe you own it, but I recently read it, really enjoyed it, and it is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney.
I actually been wanting to check it out because I did like Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Yeah. So, we've got a couple Alice Feeney's on the list, but this one was such a good time. Karina and I really, really enjoyed it. And so again, it's another one that I enjoyed actually more than Rock, Paper, Scissors. So hopefully, fingers are crossed that you will also really enjoy it.
I hope so, because I heard some mixed reviews, but I've heard more good than bad.
Yeah. I believe I gave that one a 4.5. That one really that one was it. Okay.
Nice.
I enjoyed that one. Okay. The next prompt is camp counselor, and that's to read a book with a character who's in like a position of authority.
Mm-hmm.
And for this one, according to GoodReads, you have not read it, and I don't believe you own it, but Karina and I are doing a reread of it. I think Karina's read it before. I know I read it before, and now my brain is glitching out on if it's a first-time read for Karina or a reread. But we are both reading it, and that is Camp Counselors by Jessica Goodman. And that is like...
The counselors or camp counselors?
The counselors.
So I've heard of the counselors or Jessica Goodman.
The counselors. That is exactly it. That's exactly what I have in my notes is the counselors. But, whoopsies.
I have heard pretty good things about it.
Yeah, it's a YA. So, typically those move kind of quick, so you're not like bored. Not that, other style of thrillers are necessarily boring, but just, they move fast. Plot is plotting.
I have another book from her on my shelf, actually, called The Legacies. I haven't read it yet.
I want to read that. I want to read it.
Oh, maybe you could make that a buddy read.
Maybe. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Okay.
You can save it for the next Readathon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Perf. Oh, are they in school at that time? Like the Legacies?
I think it is, yeah. I think it's like a prep school.
That could be perfect for Fiction Falls Academy.
That's true, too.
Just saying. Either one, we can read it at some point. I just checked,
definitely.
though. I just checked, and this is Karina's first time, according to GoodReads. So you and Karina, the first time. Me, a reread. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah.
It's just, it's good summer vibes.
I remember you talking about it before.
Yeah, so it's perfect for this time of year.
This should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Stunning.
I mean, I did love, I'm sure it's got to be similar vibes to something about You Were Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. And that book was nearly a 5-star till that ending. And I had to go down to a 4.5. But
that's a good
That was almost like the perfect book for me. And I loved it. So I'm hoping this would give the same vibes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. It definitely gives the fast-paced, like, summer camp and, like, kids who have no business being in the situations.
Right.
So I hope you and Karina really like it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I'm excited for a reread.
I'm excited too.
Yay. Okay. Next up is Icebreaker. And for this prompt, it's to read a book by an author you've never read from. Now, the book that I chose, I went on GoodReads and I clicked on every single book by that author and checked to see if you read it. So if you have read a book by this author, I promise I did my due diligence. I tried hard, okay? Okay. Close your eyes.
All right. Eyes are closed.
The one that I chose is Everyone is Watching by Heather Gudenkoff. I know I didn't say that right.
I think that's right.
Okay, stunning. I read The Overnight Guest by her before, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a new favorite, but I'm actually really interested in reading this one. And this also has like an isolation setting. So, if anybody needs a rec for that, here's an option. But this also has a little bit of a reality TV spin to it because it's like 5 people, 5 contestants, and they're trying to win $10 million. And they are like isolated, and it's being live streamed.
And it sounds really interesting. I even got interested in it, and he got the audiobook. And we were supposed to buddy read this, and we never got to it. So hopefully maybe we could do that this month.
Yeah, right? Has no choice. He's going to be reading this.
And he's such a mood reader, but he might actually be interested in reading it with me.
Stunning. Well, there we go.
Actually, I think that was actually a gift from him, too.
Oh, that's perfect then. Wow, love this. Okay, the next one, I'm really excited for this one, okay? Because I ate this up, okay? I loved this book. Karina also loved this one. She read it, and then, like, immediately after she read it, or while she was reading it, she was telling me. And so I picked it up, like, immediately after. And then I think Jasmine picked it up like just a couple days after. Like, and she really enjoyed it too. And I think you're going to like this one because you do enjoy, like, reality TV.
I do.
I do as well.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yes. And so, like, for those of us that enjoy that reality TV vibe. This is one I think everybody should read. I don't think you own a physical copy of this book, but, you know, maybe a picture might appear here.
It'll be up there if I don't have a physical copy.
For the stargazing prompt, which is to read a book with the night sky on the cover, I chose One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. I hope you love this. I hope you love it so much because it is like reality dating show mixed with a thriller. This is also like an isolation setting. So this is not spoilers, but it's just about a reality dating show and they're looking for the perfect couple. So it's one perfect couple. So you go on the show with your partner and they're going to a remote island. They're on the island with their partner and they're competing to obviously, you know, win money, but they're competing to be the perfect couple. And they're on an island. It's luxurious. And then a storm hits. And so they're stranded on the island. And then people start, you know, they're gone. So.
I remember when this came to Book of the Month. And I was kind of sort of interested, but I wasn't a priority at the time. But after hearing, I think it was you and Karina that read it, that and you guys said you really enjoyed it. And so maybe I'll like it because it sounds like Love Island, but like disaster.
It's like Love Island and Survivor mixed with a slasher. Like vibes of just like you just don't know, you know? It's like And Then There Were None style. So
okay, so that's another one of those.
Yeah. I really enjoy that one. So I'm so glad that you do too. It also was a really enjoyable audiobook. So, you know, maybe you'll like it and want to.
I think I found the audio a while back. So I know where to get it if I need it.
Stunning. Okay, the next prompt is Summer Love. And this is for a romantic suspense. The book I picked was one that you have pulled that you said you wanted to read. In my mind, like it's a dark romance, but like there's suspense in it. And it was marked on GoodReads. Many people marked it as suspense. So we're rolling with it as romantic suspense. Let me grab it. For Summer Love, we have Lights Out by Nafessa Allen. This was a 5-star read for me and for all of the besties, I think, have all really, really enjoyed this. So I hope that you do as well.
I'm excited because I have intentions of doing a dark romance vlog. With this being one of them. So I'm very excited.
Perfection. And you were planning on filming that in June, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. Look, we're crossing two things off the list at once. Next up is the morning announcements prompt, and that is to listen to an audiobook. Now, I also like the immersive reading a lot, so I like to listen to the audio and follow along. But I also like to listen and play Happy Color.
I do that too sometimes.
Or, you know, diamond paint. Or, you know, you can do chores around the house. But for the morning announcements prompt, I'm going to go with Hunted by Darcy Coates.
Yay.
Amanda mentioned to me that she had some things on audio, and Hunted was one of them. And since it is the group book for the Readathon, it felt too perfect, you know? So I was like, Hunted. There we go. Okay, next up is First Time Camper. And this is to read a young adult. For that one, I chose
Eyes Closed.
The Cellar by Natasha Preston. Now, this one also has a midnight read on there, and I did not know that because I feel like she must have been picked up or maybe by somebody else.
That was her very first book after Lockhead.
Okay. So whenever they started tagging Midnight's Read, they must have like had new editions come out with that on there because it wasn't on there before, I don't think. I've never read anything by her, so I don't know. I think I started a book by her and then never finished it. Not because like DNF, I think I just got like distracted, if I'm being quite honest.
Right.
So it was a me, not a book issue. So it was all on me. So I'm interested to see what you think about her writing because I know she's got a pretty good backlist. So
she does, but this was her very first book, so I figured I'd try her first book before I try any of her other.
Stunning. Well, there we go. First Time Camper, The Cellar.
I'm excited.
Okay, next up is The Scavenger Hunt.
Ooh, yay. I've been looking forward to this one.
Stunning. Okay, so for this one, I did have to ask Amanda what her last read was and what her rating was. Because the first stop on The Scavenger Hunt is to take your last book and you're going to take the rating, and that is going to pick what the next book is that you pick up.
Mm-hmm.
So the last book Amanda read was The Striker by Anna Huang, and she gave that 4 stars. So stop number 2 says that the next book you pick up has to have 4 words in the title.
Mm-hmm.
And the book I was going to pick, never mind. I picked it for something else. Just kidding. Okay.
Do you need to find a new one now?
No. I just thought about it in a different order. So this book is actually already picked for a different prompt, but this isn't the book she's going to read for the scavenger hunt. This is just one of the stops along the way. So because she gave The Striker 4 stars, we need a book with 4 words in the title, and that is Someone in the Attic. So there's that one. And then you take the last letter of the title, and that has to be the first letter of the next title for stop number 3. This one ends in a C. So for the third stop on the scavenger hunt, we need a book that starts with C. And just because I love it, I know she hates it, and this doesn't mean she has to read it, but Clown in a Cornfield is that one. Again, she's not reading it. It's just, to get us to the next thing. So stop number 4 says you take the prominent color on the book, and then you have to find another cover that has it somewhere on there. The prominent color for Clown in a Cornfield is red. So we need a cover that has some red on it for the 4th stop.
Mm-hmm.
And for that one, I chose... And then the 5th and final stop. So the book that comes after this one is the one that she will be reading.
Actually, I thought it was going to be that one.
Oh, I mean, that would have worked as well.
But this works too because I love Freedom McFadden.
Yeah. But this is not the one you're reading. This is
gotcha.
just leading us to that book.
Gotcha.
And so the final stop says that if this book ends in an even number, the book you're reading has to end in an odd number, vice versa. This one ends, let me double check, because what if I was lying? Okay. This one ends in a 4. So that's even. So the next book has to end in an odd number. And because I have total control over this TBR, I'm forcing her to read a book I want her to read, which is Final Girls by Riley Sager. So the final stop on your scavenger hunt is Final Girls. This one needs to end in an odd number. And I checked before, and I'm pretty sure it ends in an odd. Indeed, it does. 339, I think it said. I saw a 9. It's odd.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. This is my favorite Sager. Now, I will say, I do think I need to reread a couple of them to make a for sure statement. But based off of what I remember, this is my favorite one. But, there's some that are really close seconds, So this could be bumped down on the list, but I really, really did love this. I hope you enjoy it. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but my God, it worked for me, and I hope it works for you too.
Well, I've read almost all of his books. I just need to read this one, Final Girls, and then the new one that's coming out in June.
Yes. So. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy that one.
And I hope his new book is Thrills and Chills pick. So
keep your eyes peeled, Next, we have Legacy Camper. And this is to read a book, like a TBR bet, just like a book that you've wanted to read for a while. Mm-hmm. And I have heard you say how many times that you were supposed to read this, wanted to read it. Amanda probably already knows what I'm picking. Let me grab it. Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I know that you've said that you were supposed to read it. I think you and Nikki were supposed to read it together.
I think so. I think
it's been so long. It's been so long. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and put this on the TBR. I'm trying to help you out. I know you've been wanting to read it.
Yes, I do.
We're going to get it off the TBR.
So I've heard really good things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, we are down to the last prompt. We have Nature Walk, and this is to read a book with nature on the cover. And for that one, it just felt right to leave it off on a book by an author you love.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one that I'm also planning on reading. So it's exciting.
Another buddy read. How about that?
We've got The Crash by Freedom McFadden. We've got trees on there. There's snow. It's naturing out there. I've been wanting to read this one, actually. So, when you had it on your stack of ones you're interested in, I was like, perfect.
Also, Karina said she's planning on reading it next month.
Yes. Yeah. So the three of us can go ahead and knock this out again.
Another buddy.
Yeah.
I love that.
But that is all.
That's all for the bingo board.
Yeah.
However, we still haven't gotten over the Amazing Readathon prompts. Now, to go into all the prompts for the Amazing Readathon, luckily, Bree decided it was, instead of trying to keep it a surprise this year, she's actually giving us the prompts so we could actually plan. And since I'm on the Pathfinders, I'm doing the non-competitive team because last year I was very competitive, read 30 books.
Knocking it out.
And then I got burnt out.
Yeah.
For several months after. And Dana knows how tough that was for me.
Yeah.
So
it's
I'm
such a change in like the routine, you know, when you're not reading.
For real. So I was excited. She brought in a non-competitive team this year. So I decided to do that and just have fun with it. And I don't have to log a single book for this readathon. All I have to do is read and enjoy. I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, I love that she did that because sometimes you want to participate and support people, but sometimes like that competitive vibe is just not, you know,
definitely
not what everybody enjoys.
So I figured with these prompts, now that I have them, I could plan this out a little bit better. So we have 10 prompts. The first one being a cozy book. Now, I could have gone with the cozy book that Dana picked for me. However, I'm going to save that one and do something a little bit different for cozy because I figured, you know, it has fairy tale in the title. Sounds cozy enough to me.
Yeah.
So Fairy Tale by Stephen King will be my cozy book because from what I understood is also like Wizard of Oz type story.
Okay.
From what I've heard. So I figured that's like a comfort movie for me sometimes. So like this would be also very much a cozy.
Yeah, also like
this would be fun.
But also you and Ray reading it together, that gives like, you know, cozy vibes too. So
yeah, I'm reading this with a bunch of girls that was on my former team for the Readathon. So I'm excited to finally get to this one because this has been on my shelf for years. So it's time to finally get it done. And it's my first Stephen King book. So I'm hoping I'm really going to love it.
Stunning.
And then the second prompt is with a romance. I have a lot I could have done. I could have used my books for my dark romance vlog that I'm going to do. However, I have another read-along that I'm doing with Dress for Modest Fiction. Some of the girls in her Patreon, we are reading the series together, and we were doing live shows. We just did a live show for the second book yesterday, literally. So this is the Plated Prisoner series that we're doing. So the next one is Gleam by Raven Kennedy. And from my understanding, this one has a little bit more of a romance to it, and the first two books did. Okay. So I'm excited to see how that's going to go, because I'm really enjoying my time with the series. The first book was a 4-star. Second one was 4.25. So it can only go up from here.
Yeah, and I've heard that it does get better, like that series as
I'm waiting for like the book that's going to give me that 5-star. So I'm hoping it's there. I'm hoping Gleam will be the next one. And then for a green cover is the next prompt. And I was trying to see what I could use for this. I have a lot here that I could use. However, I saw a group book for Thrills and Chills has a green cover on GoodReads. So I figured I might as well knock that out all at once. And so I'm using Hunted by Darcy Coates for green cover because it's full of green trees on that cover. So I'm like, perfect. I'll use that.
Yeah.
And next prompt is low ratings you'll think you'll love. And that is why I'm using The Starlight Air by Amelie Howard for this one. I've never read this author before, but this one really sounded interesting. And my dad bought me this book. And there's a bunch of authors on the back that I've read from before that blurbed it that I really love. Like Nisha J. Tooley blurbed this book. Jennifer L. Armentrout blurbed this book. Bridget Cameron also, and Danielle L. Jensen. And all those authors, I've really enjoyed their book.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I'm really going to love this. I saw the average rating is like a 3.15 or 3.2 or somewhere around there. So I'm still thinking I'm going to love it just because it's from fantasy and it's my favorite genre besides thrillers. So I'm like, you know what? We'll try it. So I'm excited to dive on into this. And then the next prompt is set in a large city. And I wasn't sure what to use at first. However, I picked this book because it's set in a kingdom. And to me, kingdoms kind of made me think of cities because kingdoms usually have a lot of people in them. So I went with The 13th Child since I'm already hoping to read this along with my bestie, Nikki. And she said she also wanted to finish it because she started it because I gifted it to her for her birthday, but she never finished it. And I still need to read it. You were supposed to buddy read this last year. So, this has a kingdom in it. So I figured kingdom, city kind of works hand in hand. So I figured this would be perfect for that prompt. So I'm excited to finally get to this book. Finally. And she's become a favorite author of mine as well. So I'm excited to read more from her. And then, so the next prompt is violent word in the title. And this book was perfect because this book came out last year in July. And I bought it almost as soon, I have this pre-ordered. And I still haven't gotten to it. I wanted to read it last fall and never got to it. So I'm like, you know what? This has a violent word in the title. So I'm doing it. And that is The Blind Dies First by Joelle Wellington. And I'm super, super, super excited for this one because I absolutely loved Their Vicious Games by her. And I did not think I was going to love it as much as I did. But she's become another favorite author of mine. And I think this is her second book, which I also could have used for year 2, which I didn't think about.
Which low-key would have been perfect because I think last year I picked the first one you read, These Vicious Games, for the tie-dye prompt because it has pink on the cover and that's your favorite color. So that would have also been perfect for year 2 because it's in your second year with it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm very, very, very excited to finally get to this. And it has paranormal stuff in it. There's a seance. And I cannot wait. This is the book I originally thought Dana was going to pick for the paranormal prompt earlier.
Would have been a good one.
Because it has a seance. Yeah. And I'm excited. And I'm finally excited to get to her book that came out last year. I don't know if she's going to put out a new book this year, but if she does, I will be buying it because because I've been loving her storytelling. So I cannot wait to finally get to this book. I mean, this has been long awaited. I was supposed to read it last July. That never happened. So
I'm so glad that it's on your TBR.
Me too.
Would you have rather had that instead of that one?
I mean, I'm going to read Frida McFadden's all of her books at some point anyway. So whatever I don't get to, I'll just because
I can switch it out. I can veto it and put that in for year 2.
You could. I could just read more Frida, next one.
Okay. I'm making the executive decision to change the book that I picked for year 2, Want to Know a Secret. And I'm going to change it to The Blonde Dies First because, like I said, I remembered then that I picked one of her books for the first year of Camp Nightmare. And this is a good example of just having fun with the year 2 prompt and kind of doing just whoever and whatever with it kind of, but it's just kind of a little tradition now to have one of her books on your Camp Nightmare TBR. So this is actually Amanda's year 2 prompt. We've vetoed and there you go. Okay, perfect. Because I was so sad when I realized the author of this one because I was like, that is
right
the same one from the one that because I remember you were pleasantly surprised with the first book
I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah. Okay. We've righted this wrong. Everything is better now. It's all perfect now.
And then the next prompt is celestial or godly word in the title. And I had 2 possibilities for this, but the Fiction Falls pick I decided to go with only because I'm already planning on reading it anyways. So we might as well. And that's Heaven Official's Blessing. And heaven is a celestial word. So I'm like, that's perfect. I could use my Fiction Falls book for this.
That genuinely could not have worked out.
Right?
Better. The fact that was one of the prompts and this is what you and Clint have selected for Fiction Falls is perfect.
I cannot wait. And it's perfect for Pride Month because it has the male-male relationship and it's got paranormal, all the stuff that I love. Yeah. So I'm super excited. I almost chose Heavenly Bodies and I realized, wait a minute, what am I doing? Yeah. Fiction Falls book has this.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next prompt is a shorter book. And for me, that usually means 300 pages or less. And I couldn't really find anything physical-wise that could work for this. So I picked an ebook. I just randomly went through my some of the stuff that I've bought on my Kindle. And I usually don't buy very many ebooks, but I mostly get free ones. But I got this one for free because it was originally on my Amazon wish list until I found that the ebook was free all of a sudden. So I bought the ebook and took it off my wish list because, so much easier to read a free book.
True.
So, and it only has 205 pages. So I went with Beyond the Filigree Wall by Melissa Wright, and it's a romantasy. I was surprised to see how short it was. So I'm like, I'm excited to try it because it's only 205 pages. I'll get that done in no time.
For real, yeah.
And then the next prompt is Over the Top Cover. The book I want to use for this, I don't have in my hands yet, but I will tomorrow. And I am super, super, super excited for this one because it's just came out like last week, I think it was. Or was it? Actually, it came out today. I'm sorry. Today's the release day.
Oh, stunning.
But I won't have it in my hands till tomorrow. But it's still better than waiting like a week. Because I had this on pre-order. I did a Barnes & Noble pre-order sale a while back. And I had $5 rewards. So I got a $30 Barnes & Noble exclusive edition book for $16 and change.
Hey,
so I'm like saving money right there. Yeah. And I'm so excited for this one. It's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. And I read The Shepherd King duology, loved the first book. Second one, not nearly as much as the first, but I still really enjoyed it. So I'm excited for her new book that just came out literally today. And I'm already planning on buddy reading this, also with Josh from Bookish Daddy. And I'm excited for us to read it together because he said he's also getting it. So, he's getting a physical copy just like I am. So we're going to be reading this together in June. I'm totally excited to see what we both think because he also loved the Shepherd King duology. So I'm excited to hear both of our thoughts when we finally get to this one. And the last prompt is a chilling cover or winter setting. And this is also another buddy read that I plan on doing with one of the girls that was on my team for the Escape the Readathon. And you were talking separately in another Discord. And she was showing a bunch of us some of the books that she's got. And I noticed that one of the books that she had in her picture, I owned as well. So I pulled it out and we decided we want to read it together. So I'm excited that we're reading this. So this is the St. Ambrose School for Girls. And it looks like an asylum, which looks creepy in itself.
It also actually has the word chilling on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does. Quietly chilling. How about that? I didn't even notice that when I picked it up. But it really does look like a creepy looking asylum. And it does look a little bit chilling. So I figured this would be perfect to knock out my buddy read with this prompt. And that's all the prompts for the Amazing Readathon. I think that's all the prompts for Thrills and Chills Camp Nightmare. At Lake Thrills and Chills, I should say.
It's a long name. I don't know why I did that.
But it's so much fun to say, though.
Yeah.
And I've already ordered a shirt, so I'm super excited to get that. I love that Dana's got merch for us. So as soon as she said she was selling shirts this year, I'm like, I gotta get one and support my bestie. So
thank you. Shout out to my friend for, drawing a nice logo, And I was like, wonderful.
She's wearing it right now, actually.
Yeah.
In case you can't tell.
This is the Camp Nightmare. This is the comfort colors in the bay. Bay option is the color of it.
And I picked the indigo one, so I'm excited for that.
I think I'm buying that one as well because that one just looks so nice.
I was trying to look for a shirt that was dark in case I accidentally spilled something.
Yeah.
Because on lighter shirts, it's really noticeable. Darker shirts, not as much.
True.
So, of course, I'll wash it, of course. But I figured, darker colors usually look better on me most of the time anyway. So I'm very excited for the shirt.
Stunning.
And I also got merch for the Amazing Readathon. I got a bunch of bookmarks. I got a tumbler. Ooh, it's the first time she's doing a tumbler.
Yeah, she had a lot of options.
And I also bought a shirt, which I already wore and needs to be washed, which is why I'm not wearing it right now. But I'm hoping soon I'll get Dana's shirt and I can wear that soon too. Because I want to wear her shirt for when she does her first set of sprints. So I'm hoping I get it by then.
Yay!
So I'm excited for all the books. There are so many books here. It is not even funny.
It's covered.
I mean, there's a little bit of overlap, but there's also a lot of books that are not overlap. So we will see what happens for the month of June.
It's all about having fun. So whether you read it or not, you know, it's all about just having good vibes.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Dana, for coming to pick all my books for me. Yeah, you get to have the power again.
Thank you so much for letting me come back, giving me that power. That's a lot of trust. Yeah, but I hope, you know, fingers crossed, we've got some you know, new favorites in here. I really genuinely tried to pick things that I thought you would like. So
and I'm excited for all of them.
Fingers across. Stunning.
So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching Dana pick all my books, as well as my fiance, Ray. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me and see more videos potentially with Dana in them, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you all in the next one.